Now you want to know about square roots, squares and square roots. So last time we talked about 4 times itself equals 16. 16 would be the square, okay? Because a square looks like this, and it has all 4 sides, which are the same length. So 4 times itself would give you the square area. That's why 16 is the square. Okay, you can also write it as 4 squared, means 4 times itself equals 16. Now we got to talk about the inverse, the opposite. How do you go backwards? This symbol means square root or root. Okay, it's trying to square root, find the root of this big tree that has become the square. Okay, so square root 16 equals 4. 4 is the square root of 16. So what happened here to get to here? Let's take a look. So square root has the exponent here and this root icon, okay, and the number that you're square rooting in the middle. 16 can be broken down into 4 times 4, okay, or 4 to the power of 2, right? 4 squared. That will give you 16. So notice how this exponent matches this exponent, okay? It's not called an exponent here, it's called an index. So when we're square rooting something, if within side of the square root has a exponent that matches your index, you can erase the index and it becomes a number alone. Okay, that is your square root. When you want to square root something, you're trying to find that side length. So on your calculator, you might find this icon. It looks something like this. Okay, it might even have an X in the middle. This is the square root button. Now, you're trying to find the square root of 16. Square means the index is 2. To figure this out without a calculator, you break down 16 into its factors. Let's do that. So 16, let's find its factors. 4 times 4, okay? Now, this is your factors of 16. Now, 4 times itself, that's a square, just like we talked about up there. Anytime you find a square, a number times itself equaling another number, you found the square root, okay? The square root of 16 is 4, because 4 times itself equals 16. Let's do another example. Say we're trying to find the square root of 64, okay? What does that equal? Now, a couple ways you can do this. Number 1 is you create a factor tree. Something times something times itself equals 64. Well, off the top of my head, I know 8 times 8 is 64. So our square would be 8. Okay? That is because underneath, we take this over here, this would be 8 times 8 under the square root. Now this means 8 squared, and they have matching exponent and index, meaning you can erase this guy and this guy, and that becomes your answer.